Hello everyone, today we are going to implement boiling timer screen, which is this one. So we are reusing the boiling pot component that we have added to the tutorial here. We are just adding it here without the background. And also we need to have this clock, which is rotating. And the rest of the components are very simple. Let's start quickly and see how can we implement this screen. Boiling, I'm gonna name this file boiling timer screen, right? And let's go here and let's add a composable function, and let's have the function itself. And let me zoom in a little bit so it's going to be easier for you to see. And first of all, what we need to add, as always, is scaffold. And in the scaffold, I'm going to have the padding values, and inside of that, I'm going to have column. And let's add the padding first. Modifier dot padding values. Perfect. So let me just close this window so we can add our preview later here. So let's add a top bar, which is top bar component, which I have already added this component, and bottom extracted this component from the previous screen. So bottom bar I'm going to add, and also this one already I have extracted from the other screen. It's gonna be bottom bar button, right? And here we need to add after the to do implement on click. Perfect. And here we need to add a boiling timer on the top, and here let's start. So before adding the other components, let me add 3 previews for 3 different screens, because this screen is a little bit complicated because of having this clock which is rotating. We will get to that, but for now we just need to add previews for 3 different screen sizes, small to the large one. So composable preview and private function, boiling timer screen, small size preview, and let's wrap it with a master theme. Perfect. Let's continue with adding the medium size. The next, you should know to complete data. No, okay. Private function, boiling timer, screen large, screen medium size preview. Perfect. Next, screen preview, composable, private. Boiling timer screen large, and yes, and now it's time to configure our preview. For the smallest screen, I'm gonna go with pixel 4. Pixel 4. Perfect. For the other screen, I'm gonna go with pixel 7A for the medium size, the phone that I have. And for the last one, I'm gonna go with Pixel definitely 8 or 8 Pro. 9 is not yet available. So let's rebuild and see how it is looking so far. Yeah, perfect. So let's okay. Here we have this one. Yeah, here. This is yeah. What is happening here? We have a function. Okay. I was very confused. So let's do this. It's gonna be easier to read for now. Not for now, but always it's gonna be easier, more readable. And let's go and add container color as background color as material theme. Add this one, that color schema, that surface. Let's double check. Yes, it is working fine for 3 of the screens that we have. Now it's time to start working on the column that we have. So first of all, what we need to add is the boiling pot, which is easily, we can go like a boiling pot, and we have to set dropback as true. So exactly here. And next one would be the timer that we have here. It's gonna be text, definitely composable text equal to. Let me just import this. Sometimes it does not work anyway. It should anyway. So this should be, for example, 190.2 or format, and the style that I'm going to use is going to be material theme dot typography dot headline large. Alright, let me double check the size that I've used here. Is headline large. Copy, because we want to change the color, and the color should be white. Simply let's replace me. Let me close this one so it's gonna be much easier to see. And let me just make this one a little bit smaller. Perfect. Now we have the timer. The next step is this clock, which we're gonna do after. Let's go to the spacer, which is going to be the spacer component. Spacer component, right? Modifier. And this fill max width for sure. Got padding and diamonds dot large and height 1 dp and background as color dot white dot copy alpha. We need to have transparency here 20%, as you can see here. Next one would be the next text, and this text is going to have boiling time and the description, right? text. It's gonna be boiling time this time instead of timer. And the style gonna be, let me double check the style right quickly here in the design. Body large. Body large. And the color is same as what we need. We don't need to change the color here. Now it's time to add the description. Let me copy paste the description here. Perfect. Let me add one enter. Yes. Everything looks good now. But we have the description, but the size of the description that we need to have. Body, medium, the copy, color equal to material theme, that's color schema, that's on surface 60% transparency, and here let me also add modifier dot paddings small for the top and horizontally padding. We need to add horizontal padding as, let me check how much it's 16, which should be this one, 16. Yes, now it is looking good. And yeah, we have added everything. Now we need to align all these components horizontal. Okay, let's go with the horizontal alignment as alignment center horizontally, vertical arrangements, yes, center. It is pretty much as what we wanted. Perfect. Let me double check. Okay, everything looks good. Now it's time to add this clock. I have tried many different ways to implement this clock. At the end, what I have done is, so I just draw this clock in the Illustrator, and I've added this as a SVG to the project. Now the idea is to have this clock here and scale this clock to make it much larger, to have only like a bottom center of this clock. Then after that, what I did, I scaled it up. I said like 9. The scale was 9, and also I've added the animation for this. So since this component is a little bit complicated, let me remove these spaces. And since this component is a little bit complicated, I'm gonna go with the clock face. Nice name. I like this name more. Let me add private. Okay, so what we're gonna do is first of all we're gonna add the clock without animation. Then we will see how it looks like. Then we will continue and we will improve it as we go on, right? So let's have a box. So this is the box that we're gonna put everything that we have, and it has a modifier. Take the field max width. What are you doing to me? We need image. Then here what we need is painter and painter resource. Let's also add clock face. So what I'm gonna do, I add face to this clock as a name, and let's quickly double check it. So since we changed this resource file name, we need to rebuild. This is the clock that we have added, right? As we wanted this. And next would be modifier. Field max width gain also here. So we have the clock. We need to also add the dot, as you can see here. To adding the dot, I'm using canvas since it is much easier, faster, better. I'm gonna use a canvas and modifier. Yes, let's go with this. And let's go with it shouldn't be center, it should be bottom center. And here we need to have 20 pp padding. So as we go here, we need to draw a circle, and the color, I've already added the color name cheese. Yeah, pointer color. Maybe this is not a good name for this color, but anyway. And the radius of this circle is 2 only. See how small it is? It's bigger now. So let me check one thing. It says radius, the radius of the circle. Float. Okay. I go with this. And what else do we need? We set the color, everything is there. Center, I guess by default, the value is center, right? Yeah, this is center. So we don't need to add this part. Easier. So we have the clock that we want, we have the dot, but now it's the time to add the animation. Then afterwards, we're gonna go ahead and we will work on positioning and moving it in the way that we want. So as always, what we're gonna do, we're gonna use rotation angle by mutable float. Can it load? I don't think so. Let's see if we need later or not. Well, it says replace with float. Okay. And now again we go animated rotation angle by mutable by animate float as a state. Alright, this is what we want. Target value and label. We don't want to change the default animation. Clock face stage. So now we need to change the angle and rotate the circle in a way that we want. Because of that, I'm going to use launched effect. And it's going to be neat. Just check one thing. It can be any launch effect. Okay, so we want to run this code only once. That's why I go with launch effect, and key here would be unit. So only once we will run this bot. Inside of that, we're going to have a loop which is going on until the end. Rotate until user leaves the screen. So rotation angle plus 6. Because it should be 6, we have to rotate it in 6 degrees to have a second. The next would be sleep. This should be sleep. Let me check. I believe I should not play. Oh, delay. What am I doing? Delay. For 1 second. 1 second, perfect. Now we have added this. Now it's time to use this guy and add this to the box that we have. Rotate. I did run the app. I'm not sure if it is going to be. Yes, it is working fine. We have a couple of problems. One of the problems that we're facing is that the position. The other problem is that this dot is also moving. We need to have this dot to be in same position always. So for solving this, what I have done is I used custom layout. So there are a couple of different ways, let me tell you. So one of them is go with the layout and position the items in a way that we want. Not here, of course, but here. So we can say, for example, layout, and here we can tell where we want this image to be in the box that we have. I went there. It was not that easy. At least for what I'm doing, it was a little bit more complicated. That's why I did not do it. And the other solution is to use clip here and say, for example, only bottom center of this clock should be visible like this, only this part to make it visible. But this one also didn't work in a way that I wanted. The problem was that the layout still we're using this space, so only this part I could see, but all this space was still it was using, and it was empty, so I didn't want that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use custom layouts, same as what we did here, but with custom layout for each component that are inside of the layout. We have to tell where we want to position it, right? So I'm gonna go with the composable font, and the name would be custom clock layout, whatever. That's the best name that I could have for this layout. What we need to add is a modifier and content. What else do we need is we need the layout itself. Again, we need content, modifier, measurables, containers, and that's it. The rest we shall work on it. First of all, placeable. Here I'm gonna put an measurables.map, measurables.container. that contain constraints. Okay. Second would be val the width of the layout width is a placeable constraints dot max width. We want to get all the spaces for the width, and for the height I'm going to have layout height. This is something that I came with constraints dot max height. Max width, because height can be very much larger than what we may need, right? That's why we don't go with that. Multiply by 9. I'm not gonna do that. Let's multiply divided by 9. So what I'm going to do here is to have it as a square. To let it be here. I'm gonna change this part later on when we start to use the scale. I'm gonna explain later. So let's set the layout height and width, and here placeable dot for each, and placeable again. And what I'm going to placeable dot place relative 0, x would be 0, and this time what I'm gonna do, x will be 0 because we have started from the center, right? And here what we're gonna do is placeable dot height. Let's go with this for now, and let's see what would be the result. Measurables. Okay, there is a typo. Are you not happy? Measurables, it says that it has a typo, but also here it is not yet used. It is used twice. Rename to measures. Okay, leave me alone. Measures it is. So what I'm gonna do, so nothing has changed because we're not using this custom clock layout yet. We go here. We start using this. Let's wrap it through the whole component that we need. It went down, and it is very sad what this happened. So modifier, fill max width again. We have the padding, but I think it isn't necessary to have the padding here. It should come up. Let me see what is wrong here. We have max width. Oh, because of this positioning, it happened. So what is the idea? I'm gonna go with the idea, and we'll add this part, which is scale. I want to have this clock to be much larger, so only partially it should be displayed to the user, right? Only part of it. After trying too many different numbers, I have ended up with 2.5, right? And now it isn't visible because I guess it is somewhere out of the screen. If we go even here, we're able to see some things here. I guess this is that. So let me go and correct what we have here. I found like a 9f. We're going to divide by 9. Any changes? No. And placeable height y equal So I'm gonna go with placeable height divided by 1.1. Okay, 1.1 multiply minus 1f to int. Okay, now we have it around what we wanted, but okay, it is not perfect. Right, is there? So now we have to play with it and to see how we can move it where we need. So something is still off, I believe. I should not use any of these numbers because I've ended up doing this a lot and I've ended up with these numbers. So for sure it has to be the one. So the rotation now can be here. If I run the app, everything should work perfectly fine. Bottom center, 20 dB. Can we look up this? I don't need to. Nothing has changed, literally. But we have the animation in a way that we wanted, but everything else is not working. The positioning of this custom clock layout is not okay. So what I'm gonna do, let me add a background. Dot red. Okay, the positioning of this is also pretty much okay. Exactly the part that we need is displayed. Maybe I put it in the wrong. Yes. Now it should be fine. Even worse. Now we are not able to see what is going on. I believe for this timer we need to add padding, if I recall it correctly. Yes, padding. Padding. No padding. Modifier. Padding. Modifier. Yes. Modifier that. Padding. Which. Let's go here with large and bottom XX large. Let me make this line. Okay, this is what we needed. And it is exactly perfect. This is good. Let me remove this background. I always try to use background color when I don't know where is my layout at. Perfectly fine. Let me also run the code and see how it is looking. Perfect. Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. The next step is to have when the timer is, okay, so first of all, we need to have a notification to display, for example, how much of time still is remaining, and also what else we need to do is after finishing the time we have to change this and make this bigger than what it is and remove the boiling part. So in the next video, we will work on the finish screen, which would be the same screen plus adding the notification. The other thing which would be remaining is that I'm gonna test this device throughout to see if there is any problem and if there is any bug. I will try to just upload the next video as soon as possible. But let's see, because I want to also debug and see if there is any error anywhere. Then after, we can go and publish it on Google Play and see how it is working after that. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.